So afterwards, he wasn't getting jobs. He wasn't getting a lot of jobs like he used to because he wasn't evolving. We are still going to come back to that. It wasn't evolving. It wasn't following the trend. As the world was moving, it wasn't moving with the world.
Moving with the world, yes. I do.
A lot of people want to deal with young people. A lot of people want to deal with young people. They want to deal with young people because they believe they are bright, they are smart, they are techie, they understand, they have the digital experience and exposure.
Knowledge.
You understand? So a lot of people believe in youths, working with youths. So maybe that was what made him lose clients. So as time goes on, I met with another friend that is into event management too, and he does weddings, he does corporate events. So I went with him to one event. Then I was not used to weddings. I believe is meant for people that are not serious. That why would I be planning parties? You understand? Like, why would I be planning parties when I can do concerts? You understand? Meet with musicians and all that.
Yeah.
So the first day I went with him for this event, we met. We got to the place. I now started coordinating stuff, meeting people, blah blah blah. So after that time, we did another job. He did another job again. He invited me because he said he liked my energy and everything. So we did that job, and the job went well.
Well,
now after that, I said, I can do this thing. I can do this.
You were convinced.
I was convinced that I can do this thing like 100%. So announced years later, I took my first wedding. I did my first wedding. Then I used to have a partner. We did that wedding and it went well, smooth. So then I decided that, okay, I'll start taking weddings.
Now you want to join your serious school?
You understand? Because I looked at the business angle of weddings.
Yes.
For corporate events, it comes like once in a while. But you can guarantee yourself that if you're really up there, weddings come every weekend. So you can still save money to keep body and soul together, you know. And you understand? So it's
the groove.
It's good for the business angle. So that was how I included weddings to what I was doing. So I started doing corporate weddings and any kind of event.
Uncle Tosin, is that wedding your major occasion that you planned, or you have done a show before that is a major for you?
Yeah.
Before the wedding.
Before the wedding, I would say that show I did in school is my major. Because that was what convinced my what would I call it now? That was what convinced me that I could do events. So, but if you're saying like a major break in terms of financing, in terms of funding, and in terms of exposure, my major break was when I did a concert for a Redeemed Church. I did their concert. I brought everything. I was in charge of everything, from the sound, from the stage. I brought everything. All they did is they came with their members. It was in the church compound. We had the stage, we had everything, you know, we had everything in the compound. So that's my major break. I remember I featured Tosin B. I don't know if you know Tosin B. Tosin B is a Redeemed member. I featured Abodering.
Yeah.
Abodering.
Odunayo. Yeah, Abodering.
I featured
Abodering.
Yeah, I featured Akan because it was a Redeemed Church. So I got people that are members of Redeemed Church that sing. So I recommended them and the church accepted. So that was my major concert that I did. And after that, I've never done something like that before in Lagos. but I knew I
Really?
could do it, and I did it, and it was explosive. It was because they had their area pastors, they had, and after that, I've done several concerts for Redeemed churches because I really used that job to get other jobs from Redeemed Church. And
So, just wait. You use the job to get other jobs. Did you go to the pastors and be like, I did the concert. You
yeah,
can
because
call me, or how did you go about
if
it?
you want to get jobs, you understand, if you want to get jobs from people,
Yeah.
you need to tell them what you've done to convince them that you can do it, because they will ask you questions. Do you understand? Okay, I want to do a live session, and I need somebody that can anchor for me, and you tell me that I can do it. I won't listen to you. I will tell you that, what have you done? So you can tell me that I've done hanging out with the villager. You've done it. How many episodes have you done? You now start telling him that I've interviewed a sister in LOC. I've interviewed one brother. I've interviewed Toxan. You understand? You are telling me
Convincing words.
You understand?
Yes.
You are telling me what you've done. You are not telling me what you can do.
Yeah. So in other words, you're marketing yourself.
Exactly.
Like, I know what I'm doing.
So if you're marketing yourself, you should have references that, okay, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. You can tell them the best of English, the best of accent. But if you have nothing to show for it, you are joking. Do you understand? You are joking.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
if you do any job well, there is high possibility that you get reference. There's high possibility that you get reference. People will refer you that this guy that did my sister's wedding. I have a family for the past 10 years. I've been doing their family event.
Wow.
If they want to do anything in that house, they have to call me first. That we've picked a date.
But Uncle Tosin, at a point, at the point that those family,
yeah,
I'm very sure they have become friends with you now.
Of course.
I'm very sure if it's 10
Of
years.
course.
So now, okay, they can call you. Okay, Tozan Events Company. We have a program coming up, and you build them. Okay, this program will cost you 10 million naira, and they'll be like, no, we don't have 10 million naira. We have 7 million. How do you handle that?
Yeah, for every event there's a budget. For every event,
that is where I'm going.
For every event there is a budget. If anybody calls you now that they want to do this, they want to do this. It's not peculiar to event alone. You understand? And there's levels. Do you understand? There's TM. TM Lewin, there's Fendi, there's Gucci, there's H&C. We have our Yomi Casual. You understand?
Burberry designer.
We have all these things. It doesn't mean that all those brands I've mentioned are the same amount. Do you understand? You can't compare. Yeah. You can't compare a Mercedes-Benz, for instance, to a Toyota. That's even a perfect example. You can't compare both of them. Do you understand?
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that
yes, I do.
They don't both have ACs. It doesn't mean that they don't both of them don't have 4 tires. They have same features. Almost same features. But there are some extra features that you can never get in Toyota. Do you understand? There are some kind of features you can never get. Because Mercedes is a luxury car. You understand? When you see a Benz of 2018 and you see a Toyota of 2018, if you check the price difference, it will be like 5 million or 6 million.
Price difference.
Do you understand? So for every event, there is a budget. So don't get me wrong. Events that you can do for 10 million, you can also do it for 7 million.
Oh.
Now, but this is it. The vendors you will use will differ in terms of cost.
Okay.
We have some big shots in the industry.
Does that mean the quality will also?
It might not.
Reduce?
It might not. It might not. Now we are in the Celestial Church, right? We have some
Yeah.
some elders, some ministers when we have our events. Maybe when you have like an up and coming minister of God that just started his ministry, and you have somebody like, for instance, maybe like an Ekola Davis. Do you understand?
Okay.
When it comes to honorarium,
Yeah,
you know it's going to be different.
That is made already.
You understand? The honorarium is going to be different.
Yes.
Because you have to look at his level, his status. So what I'm saying in essence is this: there are some vendors that have been in the business for some time, for a very long time. There are some vendors that have built that brand name. You understand? So you can now say that you would pay same amount with a brand that is just coming up. That doesn't mean the brand can't do the job, but who knows the brand? Do you understand? For instance, I was using Mercedes-Benz and Toyota. It's because everybody knows Mercedes-Benz. But let me now call one strange name that, okay, maybe GAC. Do you understand? People will look at it that GAC. What brand is that? GAC Motor. Have you heard about
what
GAC?
Are you talking about? Are you talking about biscuits?
Do you understand?
I haven't.
So it's not that car is not good though. The car is good, but we don't know it. So that car won't be charging the same amount to buy. You can't buy that car for same amount you buy a Toyota in same level, because we know Toyota. We are almost comfortable. We are comfortable with the brand. Do you understand? Yes. So if you want to call someone like a Jide Odukoya,
I used to tell my friend that we are three in Nigeria. We have male, female, and we have Toyota. Because before you walk 2 miles,
you'll see
that car, like 4 of Toyotas will just go by.
You know, so it's because of the level of the name they have, level of exposure, and level of jobs they do, they will charge you more. You understand? It's not as if you can achieve a 7 million naira wedding. You can achieve a 10 million naira worth of wedding for 7 million naira. There are two things.
Okay.
Your power of negotiation also matters. The amount you will get most of these vendors is different from the amount I will get them. Do you know why? I have a relationship with all of them, but you don't know them. That is why people get event planners, they get event coordinators, because they will get better discounts from coordinators and planners. If you pick up your phone now, I don't know if you understand that. If you pick up your phone now and call Jide Odukoya,
I do.
And Jide Odukoya tells you that, okay, for weddings I charge 1.5 million, and you tell me that, I will tell you I will get it cheaper for you. Don't be shocked that when I speak to Jide Odukoya, he can tell me to pay 1.2 million. Based on relationship. Do you understand? So if you cut 300K from Jide Odukoya, you cut 500K from the decorator, you cut 200K from the... So you'll be getting 7 million worth of events, or 10 million worth of events for 7 million.
Octosin, at the point where you have called Jide Odukoya, okay, Jide, you are doing this on so date, and mistakenly, unknowingly, you could not attend. How do you cover up for that? Because I know you'll be really responsible for anything that goes off.
Yeah, I've never experienced that before, but that is why you need to do your follow-up. Do you understand?
Follow-up.
You have to do follow-up. There's something we call vendors meeting. Most times the vendors meeting...
Sorry, vendors what?
Vendors meeting.
Okay.
So vendors meeting is a meeting that we hold. Perhaps some people hold it more than once. So it's a meeting that brings all the people that will be, all the facilitators, so that you can reconcile your bookings. The couple too will be there, or the celebrant, or the sponsor, or whoever. They will be there as well. So that's the event, that's the meeting that everybody meets, so that you can ask questions, blah, 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 blah. But in any case that, because anything can happen, In any case that things like that
Yeah,
happen,
sure.
at times we normally advise that there is backup. You understand? Like, don't put, that's if you can afford it. If you look at this standard wedding, like,
So even
go on.
no, sorry, continue, sir.
Like for instance, because you mentioned 10 million naira, I'm going to use that as an example. If you want to do an event worth 10 million naira, at times it is advisable that, okay, is there a backup photographer? What if the photographer now comes and he says his memory card crashed?
My shutter speed is not working.
You understand?
My